さんこんにちは。今からジムシャークのイベントがマイアミであるってことで、行ってきたいと思います。今日はめちゃくちゃマイアミは暑くて27度なんで化粧をしてきたんですけど、その前にファーマーズマーケットに行ってきたらもうめちゃくちゃ汗だくになって、こんな感じのウィンウッドっていう、若者の街でやるそうです。今日はクリス・バムステッドが来るらしいです。楽しみです。イエーイ。着きました。すごい人。何が起こってるのかはよくわからないけどすごい人です。私はジムシャークを持ってないのでボムシェルできてます。すでに楽しそうです。私は一人です。ちなみにこのイベント無料なんで、無料ってすごくないですか？ジムシャークすごい。なんでこれを急にマイアミでやるのかも知らないけど、中に入ってみたいと思います。誰かがご飯を食べている。はい、ここからはですね、ボイスオーバーでちょっと紹介します。このコンベンションセンターの中にある2日間のジムシャークのイベントなんですけど、でっかい倉庫をぶち抜いた中にこういうフォトブースとか、写真撮るとことか、あと物販ですね。物販がいろんなところに散りばめられていて、ここはなぜかヘアバンドだけが売ってたんですけど、最近若い子の間でヘアバンドが流行ってるらしくって、こっちのアメリカの子たちはなんかヘアバンドをみんなつけてトレーニングしてる子多めです。あとミート&グリート、ジムシャークのアスリートで、この人一番人気でカルロスっていう人だったんだけど、マジで誰か全然わかんない。あとなんかこういう参加型のボクシングのイベントとか、別にこれ何もらえるわけでもないんだけど、みんなちゃんと参加するんだみたいな。でこの後出てくるこの黒人の女の子のピンクのリボンやばくね？なんかすごい可愛いんだけど、すごい主張激しくて、ブレイズとのこのあれもすごいし、ケツもすごいっていうね、アメリカっぽいですね。
DJ, you got some music over there? Don't. All right, cool. All right. Turn it down. I just want to make sure that you got something. But I need something more lit, because I want to invite somebody up to the stage to bring the vibes up with me. Who gonna turn it up with me? Who like to turn up? All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you stand right here. I need one more volunteer. Who can you know how to turn it up? Where you from, love?
Jen from Miami.
Give it up for Jen. Here we go. We only got 30 seconds. DJ, hit the beat. Let me see what y'all got. All right. Okay.
He just said, "Oh my God, he's right there." Okay. Second of all, I want to introduce you to people. But is it cool with you if I give like an official introduction?
Like an honest one or a...
Like an honest? Yeah, it's an honest one. Okay, so Chris, you won Mr. Olympia 6 times. You cultivated a community of over 20 million followers on social media, and you've captured the hearts and minds of pretty much anyone who's ever stepped foot in a gym. Fair?
Maybe.
It's going to be a long night, everyone. Ben, you started off as a pizza boy who had a dream to build the first ever gym brand, and in doing so you created Gymshark, the first ever mainstream gym brand to rival the likes of Lululemon and Alo Yoga, and you're also the UK's youngest self-made billionaire, right? On the topic of inspiring people, just like Chris has to step into the gym, a really cool fact that you guys might not know, Ben's from a small town in England, which is fairly unknown, but there was more brand new companies started in that town in the UK than anywhere else in the world. So just the way Chris has inspired many people to step into the gym, Ben has inspired hundreds of thousands of people to become entrepreneurs and start their own businesses. So, yeah, that deserves a round of applause. So, I think it's safe to say that people consider you both pretty successful. So my first question is, what's the biggest mistake you've ever made?
Leaving Gymshark.
Oh, shit! That deserves a round of applause. That was an incredible answer. Yeah, that was a great answer. So give us more on that. So how many years ago was it you left Gymshark?
I honestly can't remember exactly how many years. But I wouldn't say that was genuinely a mistake. I do believe that was a mistake in my life now, and it's hard for me to look back on anything and be like, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, so I kind of move on really quick. Because, we all know, to be able to move forward in life, you have to be able to learn from your mistakes and get past it. And I know it's a cheesy old saying for everyone to say that, but if you actually continue to look back on the past and be like, fuck, I made these mistakes, I messed that up, fuck that up, it will hold you back. So it's hard for me to look back on that. But there were periods in my life where I started to a lot of voices came in my head, do this, do that, this is what's important, that's not what's important, and kind of like getting in my own head. And when I was young, I was influenced a little bit by that. So any mistake I made was from listening to outside influences rather than my own heart. And I think in a way, that was why I left Gymshark, I think. And then coming back, talking to you guys, starting a business of my own, seeing what you two have built, how Ben built the brand, what you guys stand for and everything, I was like, wow. I was so much more impressed by what you guys had done. And it felt like it was right in my heart to come back to you guys, and it was like a full circle moment for me to really just do whatever the hell I wanted to do in my life rather than outside opinions, you know?
And listen, we were as sad as anyone that Chris left Gymshark, but I know you guys loved it, right? When we brought him back and we launched that video where he dropped the mic and said, "Daddy's home." That was pretty fucking cool, wasn't it? Ben, same question. Biggest mistake you've ever made?
I'm struggling to think of a specific example of sort of, I guess, a big mistake I've made. But the one thing I would say, and I guess it's similar to Chris in a way, is every mistake I have made is probably when I've sort of ignored my gut instinct or not wanted to follow my instinct. And equally on the opposite of that, every one of the best decisions I've ever made has been when I have followed my gut instinct and really sort of trusted what that instinct was telling me. So whether it's around people or product or even building out the business, when I've sort of listened to too many opinions or smart opinions and people that have done amazing things, if it went against what I...
When those setbacks happen, when things go wrong, how'd you handle it?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Ben for sure. I think one of the most important aspects in anything is personal accountability, leading to taking responsibility for everything in your life, because I truly believe responsibility equals power. If you want to have power over your life and believe that you can make a change in your own life and get somewhere you want to be, you need to take responsibility for everything that happens. So when you make a mistake, instead of hiding from it, denying it, trying to pretend like it wasn't as bad as it was, own it, accept that you fucked up, take responsibility, and then by taking responsibility, you also have the power to change it. The quicker you can do that and get over your own head, you're winning.
So there's like a theme there, trying to distill what you guys both said down. I know this from Ben because I work so much with him. I think I get it from you as well. It sounds like the answer is you have to get over it as fast as possible, right? And then figure out what the next step is. Ben's a bit like Dwight Schrute. Have you all watched The Office? Ben's very Dwight Schrute, right? He's into farming. And I don't know if you ever heard that quote where Dwight says, "My emotions recover at double the rate of a normal man." That is definitely Ben, right? So if those
took away from my passion, my love for the sport, and I was like, all right, if I don't love it as much, why am I still doing it? So I kind of, behind the scenes, without being public knowledge, which eventually the story will be told, but I was going to retire, and a few months later it just didn't feel right in my heart, because it was coming from a place of fear, a place of lack, rather than just pure love, so...
What does a place of lack mean?
Like fear. A fear-based decision, essentially. I wanted to get rid of something in my life that wasn't making me feel good, rather than choosing to go into something that was positive and choosing to leave something behind. It was just fear-based decision, essentially. So, I mean, I began to regret my decision within like 2 weeks, I think. And my wife was like, oh shit, are we gonna do this again? I'm like, I think we're gonna do this again. And it took me like 6 months to really commit to doing it again. But in that year, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do it again, I'm not gonna be afraid of what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna be afraid of losing. I'm just gonna go back to the roots of why I love bodybuilding so much. I'm gonna get on stage, just grateful to be there, like the first time I was ever on stage, and just truly soaking it all in, enjoying the moment. Not that it's gonna be the last one forever, but just because I'm grateful to be here. You know, it's a privilege that I've gotten to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Olympias. To finish it, to get on stage knowing you're done, and to feel like a peace in your heart that you've done enough. It was just a really good year. And I think, you know, a lot of people keep chasing more and not understanding why you're even doing it. You're just something lacking in your body, so you're seeking more. And I didn't want to compete for a reason to get more. So I did one more. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And when I was on stage, I just knew in my heart that it was it. It was like a peaceful understanding that it was time to say goodbye, and that, you know, it was time to start focusing on other aspects of my life, my family, my health, my future. And it was going to close off the chapter, but it was a sad but happy goodbye.
I love that. Speaking of retiring, I think
As engaged as I'd like to be. You know, I pull away a lot when I'm getting ready for a competition because I'm so focused on my goal. And my family feels that too, you know? So I know that they're going through what I'm going through, and it's a battle. They would love for me to be there all the time. I'd love to be with them more, but we sacrifice together, and so we win together. And that's why when I'm on stage, I'm just thinking of them the whole time, and I'm grateful that they give me the opportunity to be able to do what I do.
he's very good at this, isn't he? He says a lot of good stuff. Ben, you've got twin boys, and your newest little boy came along, how many weeks when we were talking? A really interesting thing happened during our conversation. When I was talking about you as a champion, as an Olympia champion, you kept using the terminology, who I used to be, who I was. Now, like, no one's even won the Olympias since you yet, but you seem to have already moved on from that really, really fast. So, I definitely speak on behalf of Gymshark, but I want to speak on behalf of everyone as well and go, what the hell are you going to do next?
That's an incredible question. And I mean, I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I never intended and never wanted to attach my identity to bodybuilding, so now that it's gone, I don't feel like that much has changed other than what I do day to day is a little bit different. And I don't have to stress out about October 14th next year when I have to be on stage for that one day and look perfect. So that's a bit of a relief. But no, going forward, you know, my focus is priority being family, making sure I can be there, set up our future, be as best as possible, learning about the business side that you guys are already dove deep into. And you know, I'd like to find some way to be able to take, you know, the resources and abundance I've gotten, both mentally and physically, and be able to give back eventually in whatever aspect that is. You know, we've had some discussions of that. I don't know how it's going to come. You know, I've only been retired for 3 months, so I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But I'm enjoying the lack of pressure for the time. Maybe I'll find it somewhere else, but we'll see.
We're all slightly hoping that you get sick of retirement and just fucking jump back on stage, do it again, I think. Ben, like, you both have like incredible women in your lives as well, right? I think that's a huge part of why you've been so successful. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've managed to watch your relationship with Courtney play out on social media and everything else. It's one of the most incredible things to see. So, to be honest, there's no real question here. I just wanted the whole room to give a little bit of appreciation for Robin, Francis and Courtney as well, because I think those two deserve a lot of credit for what these guys are doing. Okay, I'm going to switch gears a little bit and ask a spicy question. So, I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's a really, really viral speech that Jim Carrey gave on YouTube where he said, I hope every single one of you achieves all your hopes and dreams so you can realise that it's all fucking bullshit and it isn't what you thought it was going to be, right? Now, I think both of these two have both achieved their hopes and dreams. So question, I'll go to Chris first. Do you agree with Jim Carrey on that? Or, if not, do you find any truth in that? What do you think drove him to say that?
I mean, I'm not ignorant to say that success isn't great. I'm not gonna say it sucks. Obviously, there's a lot of good stuff that comes with it. But there's definitely an aspect where, like, once you have enough, it's a lot less than you think it is. Once you get enough, the more, it doesn't make you any happier. And if there's anything inside yourself that is like, you know, a disdain towards yourself, some kind of self-worth issue, something that you dislike about yourself that comes down your relationships or whatever, it won't be fixed with anything external. You know, I've heard this quote that addiction is something that you just can't get enough of. And I think we all think that we're going to get enough outside of us and go find something, whether it be money, success, winning, and then we'll get enough and then we'll be happy. And I think maybe the greatest gift is what Jim Carrey is trying to say, is that once you achieve quote unquote everything, you realize that's not what you needed. So you can kind of go back to the drawing board and realize that, you know, it's a sense of self-love, a love for others, acceptance of yourself, you know, be able to work through whatever pain you might have in your heart, to build your relationships, the stuff that really lasts. Because we were talking about this, but to get really cheesy with you guys, like, if addiction is the one thing you can't get enough of, and that's everything external, the one thing that you can get enough of is love. So if you can find that in yourself and in others, then you'll be good. And you don't find that in money, cars, or Olympia wins, or, you know, billion-dollar businesses. So I think that's what he's trying to say, and that's how I felt definitely in my life.
Ben, yours is like, so Chris's is Olympia title, so you get that, but I think every one of us at some point in this room had says, wow, if I had X thousand pounds or dollars, if I won the lottery, if I this, that would just solve everything. That doesn't apply to you for obvious reasons, right? But
your grandchildren, your siblings, everyone who loves you, just surrounded by you at that point, because you were just a good person and you loved them, you know? You prioritize family over anything else. So I would hope I don't sacrifice family for anything, ever.
That's amazing. So, after I took it really deep and asked the intense question and nearly made them both cry, I want to put the microphone out to the audience. So, throw your hand up for me if you've got a question for either Chris or Ben. Seeing as you've clapped every single thing we've said so far, I feel like I have to give it to you. Go for it, man.
I know I've been a little too much, but I appreciate the impact you guys have brought towards us within your business and of course your business. Knowing what we're all here for, being, I guess, what can I say, an athlete and also bringing an impact to the company. Because I'm pretty sure everybody here is also doing the 60-day Gymshark challenge, trying to become an athlete. What advice can you give on us making an impact either to ourselves, building our own business, or even to Gymshark?
I mean, for me, I think in all aspects of life, consistency is so important. I mean, Chris didn't become Mr. Olympia overnight, right? Like, if you think of anyone who's done something successful,
I want whoever's going to be the best person for the sport, you know?
Boo! Give us a name.
It's hard because everyone I compete against was so kind, and I jokingly tell them that's why they lost. And now, because they were too nice to me, and I was like, they would tell me they're not going to beat me. They would jokingly say they can't wait till I retire. I'm like, well, you're not going to win with a mindset like that. But no, they're all super kind and they're all great guys. So I would just love for whoever to step into my position to, you know, take it as seriously as I did. Understand it's a heavy responsibility, and you know, once you win once, it doesn't get easier. It gets harder and harder. So whoever gets it, I hope they can try and get 7. I would love to see it. As much as it would hurt my heart, I'd be very proud if one of them did it. But you know, the guys up there are all great. So I'm a little biased to hers, but that's all I'll say.
Okay, you're dying to get the mic off me. I can see how you've got it in your eyes.
Okay, my question is for both of you. When you get in your head, what's a phrase you tell yourself to get out of your head?
Oh, that's good.
Don't be a skinny bitch.
Ben?
exactly the same.
Okay, next question. This guy's about to jump out of his seat.
So this is 2 questions in one. Okay, so I'm doing my first bodybuilding show this year because I saw you win last year and I thought it was awesome. And I'm like, I want to start it. I'm doing natural. I'm 6 feet, around 220 pounds, and I'm trying to bulk. I was wondering how much should I bulk at 6 feet before I start the cut?
This is why I wasn't a coach. I mean, it's.
I think the best thing you could do is get up there and take your shirt off. You gonna do it? Alright, let's do it, come on then.
You just want him to take that young relation off. That'd be better than David Lade's magic trick.
Yes! Now we're talking.
say you were good right here. Yeah. I think for me personally, bulking is like once you start putting on like more than 2 pounds a month, you're growing too fast. If you start to plateau in the gym, you need to take a little bit of a break, like a deload week or two. Personally, when I stopped seeing my abs blatantly in the morning and night, that's when I pulled it back.
We ain't really got time for the magic trick, sorry man. But go buy a Gymshark shirt and we might let you do it later.
Hello. This question's for both of you. I'm sure both of you had key moments where you had to deal with immense pressure and stress, whether that was in a competitive or business sense. How do you keep yourself level-headed and motivated to push through in stressful situations where others are depending on you to perform?
That's a good question.
It was about staying level-headed.
How do you stay level-headed when you're in high-pressure situations where people are expecting you both to perform?
I mean, we've had. I remember we in the early days we were working in LA, and I remember flying home, and we were so tight to the line that I was trying to decide whether or not when I got home I would go back to university or go back and get a job. So we've had loads of those moments where we've been that close. Granted, not in recent years, but we've had some really hard times, and I think. For me, there's a base in those times of I love what I do and I feel really fortunate to be able to do what I do, and I think I'm sort of focused on that. But then, for me, I think it's just that relentless pursuit of where we want to get to. I want to build an iconic brand. I feel so fortunate to be in this position, and as such, whatever it is, whatever the difficulties are, I'm going to push through. I think the other thing that's really helped me, and it didn't really happen until probably the last 5 or 6 years, was I was fortunate enough to connect with people that have run businesses that are significantly bigger than Gymshark, and they've had all of the same problems. They've all had really difficult issues they've had to work through, so I never feel like we're the only ones that are having to deal with it because other people have. So I think just that recognition of the fact that everyone has those issues and everyone has to work through them, and if they've been able to do it, then why can't I?
I would say on top of that for myself, the biggest thing for me I had to learn was like radical acceptance, where those days that suck, instead of being like not wanting to have days that suck or trying to deny those days that suck or getting past them, just sit in those days that suck. Understand that no matter what, Ben still has those days, no matter how big Gymshark gets, I still have those days. And I remember specifically 2 years ago when I tore my lat at like 10 weeks out of the Olympia, I called Hani, I called Courtney in the back of the gym, like crying, hiding, praying that no one saw that I just hurt myself, literally crying, like I can't fucking do this. We had just found out Courtney was pregnant, we were going through a bunch of shit with my family, there was so much going on, and I was like, I don't think I can get through this Olympia. And just have to accept that those days come, they're inevitable, especially the longer you're at the top, the longer you try and do something, more likelihood of shit's gonna hit the fan. So accept where you're at, get through one day at a time. I was like, what can I do right now, get home, I can't train my upper body, hit leg day, hit a rest day, hit leg day, hit a rest day, just get through one day at a time. The next thing I knew, 6 weeks had gone by, I was healed enough to get back in the gym, I was in a good enough spot to get through prep, so I kept doing one more day at a time, and ended up winning that Olympia still. So if I'd given up then, I would have never known what could have come. So don't give up, accept where you're at, take it one day at a time.
All right, you, come on. This girl's been staring.
My name is Srishti and I'm from India. For both of you, there have been times in everybody's life when you just do everything and you feel that you're not doing anything. How do you think, which is the day you think that you are a complete human, that you have achieved everything, but that day also you feel that you have not done enough? How do you think you get through those days? The question is that even if you have achieved everything in your life and you are going with the plan that you have made, why do you tend to feel that you have not done enough? And how do you get through those days?
So the question is, how do you?
The question is that even if everybody is
Pro back in December at Nationals.
Congratulations!
What was the mindset you took into the Pro League for you to get in the position that you got into for the 6th title? What was the mindset you got into entering into the Pro League to get where you were to get that 6th title?
It wasn't intentional, like I didn't think of what my mindset should be, but it was just like a humble one step forward kind of attitude. Like I turned pro as a bodybuilder, and honestly, I almost retired then because I didn't want to be a 300 pounds and 6'1". And then Classic Physique came out that year, and I was like, screw it, I'll give it a shot. Why not? You know? And then I just got on stage for Classic Physique with no expectations, just seeing what would happen. Obviously, fell in love with it, and then I wanted to go and win a pro show. And I didn't even want to win actually. I just wanted to come like top 3, top 5 at a pro show. And then I went the next year to Pittsburgh, and I won that show. And I was like almost surprised by it. And I just kind of continued that mindset. I was like, all right, I won 1, I want to win 2, I want to make it to the Olympia, I want to do good at the Olympia, I want to win the Olympia. And I just kind of kept one little step ahead rather than overwhelming, like daunting goal in the future. And that's not the right answer. Don't take anything I say and think that's the right answer, because it's not. That's just what worked for me. I know plenty of people who have achieved more than I have, and when they were 6 years old, they were like, I'm going to be a billionaire, you know? I just wasn't that kid, and that what worked for me. So I think, you know, let your mind go where it goes, and just keep moving forward. If a goal is too big and stressing you out, maybe try and minimize them. If it motivates you every day, then it's what's right for you. But don't just take what I say and follow it, just figure out what you need to do. But that was my journey.
Thanks, man. Right, these.
なんか買った T シャツに自分で好きなプリントを選んで、なんか袖を切ったりとかできるカスタムがあるみたいなんで、ちょっとそれを試してみて今待っています。ジムシャークの T シャツ、超普通の T シャツばっかなのにマジで高い。これで1枚何なんだろうみたいなって思うけどね、まあとりあえず買うよね。ほぼ終了した模様でございます。私は T シャツを2枚買いましたというわけで、Uber を拾ってもう帰りたいと思います。今日のミッションは完了です。一人でも全然楽しめる。 You're good, you're good. はい、5時です。もうイベントは終わった模様で、ほぼ人はいません。こんな感じです。あれかわいい。
Please graduate, y'all. Help us out and graduate. We got a whole other day tomorrow. Hey, ladies. We got you alone. Go ahead, girl. Get it in. That's number one before we gotta go. Go ahead, girl. You got it. Yes, ma'am. Hustler, yep, you hustling them weight.
Girl, get it. It's big. You are really that girl. Bye, Jamal. We love you, Jamal.
はい、アシュトンです。友達のアシュトン。I'm talking in Japanese, so yeah. もはや500万人のフォロワーがいるすごいこんな人が集まって。
ただいま
というわけで買ったジムシャークを着てみました。こんな感じでございます。ティッティリーなんでスーツって入ってるのかわかんないけど、ジムシャークマイアミって書いてあるのが可愛いなと思ってこれにしたのと、たまたまそこで会った同じジムで協会のイタリア人の友達がIt's gonna your skin color って言ったから、やっぱじゃあこれにしましょうって感じでこれで S サイズです。かわいい。ジムシャークっぽくなくていいけど、これに1万円はやっぱないよね。まあでもなんとなくみんなに見せたくて買ったって感じ。はい。じゃあ次、この$30でカスタムできたプレーンの T シャツにこれもジムシャーク Lift Miami Exclusive 書いてあるこれです。着てみたいと思います。こうなりました。ちょうどいい。これなんかまずこのプリントができるっていうのと、これとあとここを切ってくれて、その場でちょっと短くなるからねって言われて、じゃあこのぐらいかなみたいな、ちょっとこうレギンス履いてお腹がチラ見えするぐらいがいいかな。ここはちょっと折った方が可愛いかな。なんか今度4月に帰るんで日本桃尻大学のオフ会をしようと思ってるんですけど、なんかこれ見ててなんか T シャツ久々に作ろうかなっていうのを考えてましたけど、皆さんどう思いますか？ T シャツグッズ作りたいな久々にみたいなね。で会場でみんなオソロッチの T シャツ着て写真撮る。どうですか？クロップドにできたらいいよね。はい。あと買ったのはこれ必要だったし安かったんですけど、この$16で買った背中トレーニング用のギア。これどうやって使うかっていうと、これを手首に巻いてこいつをここに通すんですよ。ここに通してで、なんかバーとかを持つときにこうぐるぐるぐるって巻きつけて、でラットとか引くっていうやつですね。これ一番可愛いお買い得なグッズだったと思います。はい、こんな感じで非常に疲れました。よく規模の若者のイベントに一人で行ったなと思ってます。